Hey, good evening to you, and a welcome here to the Great Western Hyper and Valley Bank Arena as we get ready for Orediggers volleyball here on a Saturday evening. Montana Tech taking on the Lights of MSU Northern. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Let's first and foremost take a look at the Frontier Conference standings, shall we? As we go back, let me get rid of this. I don't have it updated, but I'll run through it here. The University of Providence still undefeated coming into today, as the Providence Argos are 11-0 in Frontier Conference play, 18-1 overall. They're currently ranked number 3 in the country. Bellevue is 9-2 in Frontier Conference play, 13-3 overall. Dakota State is receiving votes. They're 7-4 in conference. Carroll also 7-4 in conference. They're number 24 in the country. Montana Tech receiving votes is 6-4 in Frontier Conference play. MSU Northern also comes in at 6-4 in Frontier Conference play. Western is 6-5. Dickinson 5-6. Valley City is 4-7. Mayville 3-8. Bismarck State 1-10, and Rocky comes in 0-11. So both these teams here tonight, Northern and Montana Tech, both coming off of losses last night, as the Lights fell to Montana Western yesterday, and Montana Tech falling to the University of Providence on this floor last night. So we're getting ready for the start of this one as Montana Tech taking on the Skylights of MSU Northern. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. And we will get this thing ready to roll in just a moment. Hey, once again, welcome back here to the campus of Montana Tech as we are in the Great Western Hyper. Montana Tech taking on the Skylights of MSU Northern. Their first meeting here in the Frontier Conference season. They will play one more time in Havre before we get to the Frontier Conference tournament, which will be played at Carroll College at the Carroll PE Center. So, again, we are expecting a good one here. Montana Tech and the Skylights. The Skylights team, you know, even going back to last year, watching all the matches and being part of those, for me, the Skylights team, it might be like the scrappiest team in the Frontier. I mean, they don't let anything go easy. You know, they're all over the floor. They're aggressive at the net. They serve well. They are very aggressive on the floor, and they just don't let anything happen easy. You know, there's no easy kills. There's always get block in place. They just do a really nice job. They're a team that I find a lot of fun to watch because their hustle meter is always in the red when it boils right down to it. Now, Montana Tech, this year especially, that seems to be the case. I thought yesterday, you know, they get swept by Providence. The first set was all Providence. Providence won at 25-15. The second set, Providence won 29-27. And that's one of those that obviously it's a game, and we all know how this works, but I felt that if Montana Tech would have won that second, there's a real chance of that thing going to 5. Montana Tech had really good runs. They had a couple of good runs to try and win that second. They were just unable to. Providence is a machine. You know, Providence right now is a team that just doesn't make mistakes. You know, I mean, they just really play well within themselves. They have one of the best setters known to mankind, and they're just a really, really good team. And, you know, coming off that, I think Montana Tech competed with Providence really well. And we'll see what kind of energy persists into this one here tonight as Montana Tech taking on the Skylights again out of MSU Northern. Now, as we take a peek here, Montana Tech is hitting .221 as a team, 11.52 assists per set and 1.86 blocks per set. And I keep saying it, but that block number, you know, continues to climb. They're doing a really nice job at the block. And the same thing with the hitting percentage. You know, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of people kind of being pressed into action due to some injuries. And this Montana Tech team doing a really nice job in the offensive side and defensive side. Now, Northern, let me get here real quickly. Bear with me for a moment. My computer is not my friend currently. So Northern, let's take a look at their numbers here real quickly. They are getting 12.46 kills per set. They're hitting 180 as a team, 11.86 assists per set, pretty average, 1.89 blocks per set. That number is one I honestly kind of expected to be over 2. You know, I feel like Northern really well coached, especially at the nets. Their middles are strong. I feel like for Northern, especially to be effective in this match, to get this win on the road, I think Northern has to get that block number up and really try and get to work in the middle. You know, their middles are really solid. And for Montana Tech, you got to get outside going. You know, last night's things really got going at times, but then had trouble on the outside. So I feel like if Montana Tech gets the outside going, you get Kennedy Wilmore swinging well. Then from there, I think the rest of it comes pretty easy. Peyton Treadwell out there as well. I think Treadwell had a really good match yesterday, and we will see what happens here today. So again, thanks for joining us. Let's get this thing rolling, shall we? As the Skylights taking on the Orediggers. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. Skylights will start with it. And we are underway. Nice pass and set. Swing by Treadwell, blocked. Tech back to Treadwell. She'll tip it in a little too close to the net. Lights will get a look at it here. That one's thrown to the back line. Set near side. Treadwell hard off the block. That should be point Tech, and it is. So Treadwell with the swing. And a Montana Tech will get the first point. So Montana Tech, Reese Layton is back to serve. Layton floats that one in. Handled nicely. Good set to the outside. Off the block, it finds the floor. Nice swing that time, as getting the kill is Selman. Macy Selman, a senior from Ballantyne, Montana. And we are tied up one apiece. Skylights back to serve is Minden. Minden floats that one in, handled. Good set near side. Strites takes a swing. Handled by the Skylights. That one off the block, and it will be point Northern. Good swing here on the near side that time. So the Skylights will take a 2-1 advantage here in this first frame. And Minden back to serve again. Minden floats that one in. Handled by Hayes. Right side this time. Big swing off the block. Point Montana Tech as they move Treadwell to the other side, and Treadwell will get the kill. Montana Tech substitutions. Checking in is Lynn. Also Long is in. And Kennedy Wilmore will see her first minutes here today. And Long is back to serve. 2-2 our score, first set, Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday evening. And Long hammers that one to the back line, handled nicely. Long set. Good dig. Set to Wilmore into the block. She keeps it alive. Pushes this one over, and that's going to find the floor and a point Montana Tech. Kennedy Wilmore, boy, good vision that time if she saw that gap. She's able to get it down. Point Montana Tech. The dig's up 3-2. Long. Laser shot. And from the 10-foot line, Skylights get it across. Montana Tech. Back set. Big southpaw swing that time by Lynn, and the block was in place. Lexi Jones out there. Jones, a freshman middle hitter from Alberta, Canada. And Skylights with the serve. Amy Green digs it up. Wilmore, good placement again, and Wilmore attacking the line will get her second kill here of this match. Montana Tech leading 4-3. Checking into the contest, going to be Abby Clark for Montana Tech. Abby, one of the three strong centers, or middles, I should say, here for Montana Tech. Big swing, goes long, no touch, Montana Tech point. Diggs leading 5-3. And Emmy Green is back to serve. Green laces that one in. Montana Tech with a free one. Bump set near side. Kennedy Wilmore into the block, and that's going to be point Northern. Northern gets the block set. Wiggins is there. Hassler is there. And that will be point Skylights. Diggs leading 5-4. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday evening. Floats that one in to the middle. Short set. Clark unable to get it down. Nice swing. Montana Tech scrambling. And that one's going to hit in. Great placement on the far side that time by Cody Ann Lynn, junior out of Vaughan. Great placement that time by the southpaw. And Montana Tech leading 6-4. So Malia Harris to serve. Harris floats that one in. Good pass, nice set. Into the block, out of play, point Northern. One point advantage here for the Digs. We've yet to see a run here. And back to serve is Josie Hassler. Green fields it to the outside. Kennedy Wilmore, it's blocked, and it will fall for a point Northern. Northern gets the block in place again. Their third block here of this first set. We're tied up 6-all. Skylights looking to take the lead here. Dug out long, nice and tight to the net. Northern will get a free one. Swing, that's in. Nice kill by Uffelman. Macy Uffelman, a sophomore out of Hardin, takes a big swing, finds it in. Skylights by 1. With the serve, Josie Hassler. Long fields it to the middle, short set. And that one is knocked out of play. Point Montana Tech. Abby Clark gets that one down. Tech hitting .250 as a team right now. 5 kills on 12 swings. 2 errors for the Orediggers so far in this first set. Northern hitting .167. They have 1 error so far in the first frame. Good handle. Big swing in the middle. Boy, we talked about it. Northern's middle, real strong. Do a really nice job. And they'll get a kill in the middle there. as Uffelman gets it down. Skylights by 1. 8-7 our score. Serve floated into the back line. Set. And it looks like Northern in the net. So point Montana Tech. With the swing was Abby Clark. The defender got in the nets. Clark will go out. Also going out, Reese Layton. And checking in for the digs, going to be Reinertson and also Sophie Madsen. Reinertson really has had a nice season here for Montana Tech. Long cross-court set off the block, and that is going to find the floor for a point Northern. Again, still kind of waiting for a run here. Both teams just kind of exchanging right now. And they'll sub back out. Reese Layton will check back in. Emmy Green in as well. And in for Montana Tech is Madison Beery, the sophomore out of Boise, middle hitter. Serve to the back line. Set to the outside, off the block. Northern fields it. Set too far off the net. Montana Tech should get a good look here. Beery dug out nicely. We'll go round 2. Beery into the nets, and that's going to fall in for a point, MSU Northern. Northern's block right now really strong at the net. They're moving and adjusting quickly. Little English on that as it spins left to the outside. Treadwell, that one blocked. She'll get another look at it. Blocked again. Treadwell knocks it over. And the point is down for the Skylights as Jones, the middle, able to tip it over. So again, these Lights very active at the net. They lead by 3. To the middle, Beery knocked it down, and it will come over. Good scramble that time by the Skylights. Outside, big hit delivered. Skylights handle it. They'll go to the other side of the floor. Into the block, it falls, point Northern. Nice job on the far side that time by Uffelman. And the Skylights leading 12-8. Skylights hitting .500 as of right now. To the back line, handled by Hayes. Skylights, boy, quickly up with the left hand is Selman. And Selman comes down and rifles that one to the floor. Skylights on a run here in the first set. They lead 13-8. Frontier Conference Volleyball here as we make our way through a Saturday. Montana Tech with 3 matches this week. They'll be in Dillon on Wednesday taking on the Bulldogs. Then on Friday, they'll be at home. Saturday, they will also be back at home. And let me give you that schedule here. Western on Wednesday, Valley City on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Then Saturday afternoon at 2, they will host Mayville State. So 3 matches next week for the Orediggers. 1 at Western, 2 at home. As we make our way into the second round here of the Frontier Conference regular season. Skylights leading 13-8. As they have the first run here of this, that it feels like they're just making it happen up front, you know. Doing a really nice job at the net right now. They have 5 total blocks. As they lead 13-8. Northern, service away. Middle set, Beery gets it inside the net. Point Montana Tech. Madison Beery, sophomore middle hitter. Back in is Lynn. And back to serve Reese Layton. Pushes it to the back line, middle set, and that one's going to go long. Good vision that time by the Orediggers as Lexi Jones got up on it. And actually, it looked like she elevated so quickly that she didn't hit it at full swing. She almost kind of hit it at shoulder level, really kind of threw her off a little bit. Set, out of place. That one goes long, point Montana Tech. Reese Layton back to serve again. Reese was she participated in the punt, pass, and kick chance this afternoon during the football game at halftime. And basically, we're lucky she plays volleyball is what we're trying to get at. Skylights leading 14-11. And back to serve is Minden. Brooklyn Minden, a senior out of Post Falls, Idaho. As the Skylights lead by 3. Back set, big swing, and almost kept alive, but it will fall. Peyton Treadwell will get the kill. Treadwell with her 3rd kill, here of the match. Treadwell, she has 3, Clark with 2. The team is hitting 115 together. And the Digs trail by 2. Austin Long. Long floats that one deep, and that will be an ace. I was honestly just thinking that with the amount of aces we did see last night, we hadn't seen one yet, and she gets our first. So Austin Long with the first ace here of the evening. Skylights by 1. That one's going to go long. Good job by the back row seeing that. And the Skylights lead is 2. So back to serve here for the Skylights, Bailey Egan. Egan, a senior from Colstrip. And her serve is away. Emmy Green handles it. Back set, Treadwell. Excuse me, off the no touch. Thought we were going to get a touch there. That was Cody Ann Lynn, my apologies. So that one, no touch. And the Skylights will have this one. Emmy Green, good pass, nice set. Kept alive. Skylights fighting, get it across. Bump set near side, thrown to the back line. Skylights should get a good look. They go to the outside, into the block. Montana Tech was set nicely. They go to the other side of the floor, and that one's going to sail long. Skylights by 2. Emmy Green back to serve. At least today we're color coordinated. Emmy Green is wearing green tonight, so that makes my OCD mind much better. And that one's going to go long. Skylights leading 17-14. And Skylights back to serve here with the duty of Selman. Macy Selman, a senior out of Ballantyne. Jump serve across. Back set. Nice swing that time as Lynn takes a cut. And Lynn will get the kill. Kill number 2 for Lynn here on the day. And the Digs will put Malia Harris at service. Trailing by 2, Harris out of Anaconda. They'll set to the outside. A whole lot on at that time. Near side for Tech. Almost getting a hand on it. Big time shot by Kennedy Wilmore. And the Digs are within 1. Kennedy Wilmore, kill number 3. Malia Harris will continue to serve. We've seen a little bit of a run here out of Tech as they reel within 1. Low line drive, handled well to the middle, dug out by Harris, kept up. Montana Tech's going to be forced to bump it across. Far set into the block, and it will fall inside the block. So point will go to the Skylights. MSU Northern leading 18-16. And back to serve is Hasler. Hasler, long under it, middle set. Clark, point. Clark gets the kill. Abby Clark, her 3rd kill here of the match. The Digs back within 1. Kennedy Wilmore goes out. Brooklyn Hayes will come in. Hayes, the sophomore out of Washington. And service across. Both teams really passing the ball pretty darn well here in the first set. Big swing off the block, point Montana Tech. Peyton Treadwell with another kill. That's her 4th here of the match. Montana Tech's hitting percentage starting to go up a little bit, up to about $160. Hayes, again, handled well. And the kill goes off of the defender, touched, and points to the Skylights. Back to serve, Emily Bird. Bird, a sophomore from Townsend. To the back line. Set lefts. Boy, big block again as Stock and Jones both get up and put that one down. 6 total blocks here for Northern in the first set. They lead by 2. Floats across. Near side. Treadwell, that one is going to go to the Skylights. Skylights leading 21-18, and the Orediggers want a timeout. Skylights leading by 3 here in this first set. Skylights hitting .273 in the match. They're led right now by Selman with 4 kills. Selman has 4 kills on 9 swings as of right now. She also leads Northern with 5 assists. So a very good set here for Selman, as she leads them with 4 kills. On the other side, Montana Tech has Treadwell and Wilmore each with 3 kills. Treadwell has 11 attacks thus far. And Reese Layton leads the Digs with 10 assists so far here in this first set. Montana Tech hitting 156 as a team. Northern hitting .273 as a team. As we look at the error numbers, Montana Tech was 6 in the first set, Northern with 4. And the big one is blocks. Northern officially credited with 5 total blocks. I really thought the last would have put them at 6. And that is the deciding number so far. Skylights lead by 3. Emily Bird is back. And Bird floats that one in. Dug out by Harris, near side, Treadwell. That one is point Montana Tech as she puts it off the hand of the block. Treadwell really having a nice weekend here for the Digs. Peyton Treadwell, the junior out of Meridian, Idaho. 5'11" junior. Checking in is Sophie Madsen. And back to serve is Reinertsen. Reinertsen, top spin on it. Mid-set, good block by Madison Beery. Beery gets in and swats it down. And the Digs trail by 1. Reinertsen. Service. Good pass, nice set. And that one's just going to be tipped up over the top of the block. Point Skylights. 22-20, Skylights up over Montana Tech here in the first set. They went on a nice run to jump up by 6 at one point. Montana Tech started to reel them in. They've gotten within 1, but just haven't been able to get up over the top. To the back line. Bump set to the 10-foot line. Middle set. Quick set. Montana Tech handles it nicely. Beery with a big swing. Pops it up, keeps it alive. Bump set, down the line. Northern's got it. Swing, blocked. Northern, it's still up. They'll get it across, and they're going to get a point. Lexi Jones, the big middle that time, almost with a sky hook, for goodness sake. As she comes down with the left hand, point Skylights. Harris to the outside. Treadwell delivers. Big shot that time by Peyton Treadwell. And Tech needs themselves a little run here to close this one out. Back to serve, Reese Layton. Short set, block, point, Montana Tech. Treadwell and Beery there on the block. And the Skylights lead is 1. Reese Layton looking to serve for tie here. Set to the outside, over the top of the block. Montana Tech with a look here. Handled nicely. Northern now will come the other way on the right side. Not enough on it. We're tied at 23. Tried to tip it up over the top and just didn't have enough oomph on it. And we're tied at 23, and Northern wants a timeout. 23 all our score. Montana Tech has tied us up late in this first set. Northern was up by 6 at one point. Went on a nice run to get out in front. And Montana Tech has just fought and clawed to get their way back into this thing. Northern hitting 276 as a team. Montana Tech at 175. Northern led by Selman and Uffelman, each have 4 kills. Treadwell on top of the dig. She has 6 kills on 17 attacks. So the teams chatting it over. Montana Tech will have service. And hopefully we'll see if they can close out this first set. You know, with the Skylights, I mean, each set is going to be an absolute dogfight. Absolute, right down to the wire. And that is the case. These two teams tied in Frontier Conference standings as of right now. And I keep saying it, I apologize, I'm broken record on it, but when I think of this Frontier Conference, volleyball is the one that really benefits from the new conference. I mean, there's so much talent in the Dakotas and here in Montana. Really has turned this conference into an absolute powerhouse. Big hit over the top. Montana Tech will set it up near side. Treadwell tips it in. Northern keeps it alive. Slapped over from the 10-foot line. Layton near side. Treadwell off the block. Point Montana Tech. And they'll be looking at set point. 24-23, the Digs up by 1. And Montana Tech serving for the set, Reese Layton. She'll hammer that one in. Set. And that's going to go out. Set point for Montana Tech. The Digs win the first. 25-23. As Montana Tech will win the first set, and we will go to set number 2. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break. We're back with the second set after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Stanger, and my specialty is adult hip and knee reconstructive surgery. I chose this specialty because it helps patients achieve their maximum functioning potential here in Butte, Montana. I like to ask the patient how their problem is impacting them, what their desires are, so that they can return back to their levels of activity. I can help patients achieve their maximum functioning potentials and, in turn, help them with their pain.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech, Valley Bank Arena, as we are here in the Hyper. Montana Tech wins the first set, 25-23. The Digs ended up hitting 186 during that first set. 1 ace, 2 blocks. On the other side for the Skylights, they hit 139 as a team. That number was up over 200, honestly, until the last probably like 5 points. Northern with 8 errors. Montana Tech also with 8 errors, but Northern 6 blocks in the first set. And they, unfortunately, unable to get up over the top. Montana Tech with a big one. 0-0 our score here in the second set, and Reese Layton will serve here for the Orediggers. Good crowd coming over here this evening. Layton spins that one to the left side. Cross court set. Big swing. Point will go Skylights. And with the swing is Hasler. Hasler will get the kill. Skylights lead 1-0 here in the second set. Again, thanks for joining us on this Saturday. Skylights, Minden back to serve. Minden to the back line. Green handles it. Swing and a kill that time by Peyton Treadwell. Treadwell really doing a nice job here for the Digs. Last night, we talked about the fact that Piper Jetty not here, unable to play, as it looks like something physically, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Injury of some sort. How bad are that? I don't know. And also Talon Dodson unable to play last night. Neither playing here tonight as well. So you remove those two from your arsenal. And Montana Tech going deep on the bench and doing a nice job with it. Skylights leading 2-1. And the Digs set up defensively as the Skylights serve comes in. Long handles it. Short set. Big swing. Northern gets it across. Long. Back set. Nice kill here on the inside as Lynn will strike that one hard. Lynn will get her third kill of the match. We're tied up at 2s. Emmy Green into the net. Service error number 3 on the day here for Montana Tech. Skylights leading 3-2. And Lights service across. Layton with the set. Out near the net, Kennedy Wilmore tried to tip it in, and the block was in place. The Skylights knock it to the ground. They go up 4-2. Block very effective here for the Skylights tonight. Good serve, short set. Abby Clark hammers it. Northern gets it across. Almost to the floor, but that will fall for a point, Montana Tech. Boy, it looked like Northern was going to get a good look on a free one. And that one will fall just across the net. Point Montana Tech. Skylights leading 4-3. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday as Malia Harris with the serve. Set here on the near side. Tipped into the block. Thrown to the back line. Northern adjusts nicely. Montana Tech. Wilmore with the shot. Both teams adjusting. That one goes into the net, hits the pin, and Montana Tech will get the point. 4-4 our score as Malia Harris serves it across. Back set. Nice swing. Harris digs that one out. Kennedy Wilmore gets it across. Skylights over the top of the block, and that will fall in for a point for Josie Hasler. Hasler, 3 kills so far on the day, and she'll go back to serve here for the Skylights. They lead 5-4 in the second set. They led the majority of the first. Big swing. Kennedy Wilmore for the kill. Kennedy Wilmore, 4 kills here in the match. And we're tied at 5. Frontier Conference matchup here in Butte, Montana. The Digs taking on the Skylights of MSU Northern. Hayes rifles that one in. Bump set, 10 feet out. Montana Tech should get a good look here. Big swing, Treadwell down the line, and it will go out. Misses just outside. Skylights by 1. 6-5. And they'll look to serve across here. 2 players right between 2. They both kind of react to it. And that one will fall in for an ace as Harris and Hayes in the back line. Skylights lead by 2. This time to the center. Harris handles it. Short set to Clark. Nice dig. Set to the outside. Green keeps it alive with a great dig. Big cut from the far side that time, and Treadwell gets another kill. 9 kills in the match for Treadwell. Skylights lead by 1. 7-6 our score. And back to serve here for the Digs is Sid Streitz. Sid has done a really nice job in service this year for Montana Tech. Short set to the middle and hammered home by Jones. We've seen both teams really utilize that short set to the middle. Just not trying to allow the other team to respond to middle and get multiple bodies there. A 2-point lead here for the Skylights. Montana Tech won the first set. Towards the net, that one a little too close, tipped out. Skylights off the net, kept alive by Harris. And that one hits the rafters and comes down. Hayes unable to get underneath it. Took an odd bounce off the rafters. Of course, that is a live ball as long as it falls on your side of the net. Skylights by 3. Layton to the outside. Treadwell with the swing. Skylights to the middle. Dugout Hayes. Montana Tech will set to the middle. And that one is going to go out. Goes wide, no touch. Point Skylights. They lead 10-6. They're hitting .333 here in this set. Selman has 5 kills so far for the Skylights. Short set to the middle. Beery with a full arm swing. Dug out nicely. Skylights bump it across. Harris puts it up. Long pass. Treadwell over the block. Skylights are there. Too tight to the net. And that will be point Skylights. Both teams kind of looking at it, unsure as to which side of the net it was going to fall on. Falls on the Montana Tech side, and they are unable to respond. Emmy Green to the middle, to Beery, blocked. Big block by Lexi Jones. Jones has 3 solo blocks. Hayes set to the outside. Another block on the far side that time. Lexi Jones. And also out there to help was Selman. Back-to-back blocks for the Skylights. They lead 13-6. Hayes tipped up over the block, kept alive by the Skylights. Montana Tech with a free one to the middle. Beery throws it to the back line. Well defended. Near side, into the block, hopped up, tight to the net. Kept up. Now Northern will try and set the offense up. Malia Harris to the middle. Beery into the block. Might even have got the net, honestly. And the Skylights grab an 8-point lead. 14-6 here in the second set. And it looks like Coach Solomon possibly taking a timeout, and he will. Skylights leading 14-6 over Montana Tech. Frontier Conference Volleyball here on Digger Vision. We're back after this.
In 2023, East Middle School became the very first school in Montana to earn the prestigious National Banner Unified Champion School designation, and was even named to the ESPN Honor Roll for its commitment to inclusion. With growing unified sports programs in basketball and track, East Middle School fosters friendship, leadership, and teamwork for all students. Just this spring, West Elementary School made history as the first elementary school in Montana to achieve this same honor. West Elementary unveiled its banner in May of 2025, showing the state what a welcoming, inclusive school community truly looks like. Unified Champion Schools are recognized nationwide by Special Olympics for meeting the highest standards of social inclusion, youth leadership, and whole school engagement. These schools prove that sports and school are better when everyone belongs.
1, 2, 3.
14-6 our score. Skylights up over the top of Montana Tech. And the Skylights float in the serve. Montana Tech looking to make up some ground. Treadwell with a big cut. Skylights scrambling, unable to get to it. And that point will go to the Digs. Treadwell, 10 kills. She leads everybody in that department right now. Montana Tech actually hitting in the negative as of right now. Negative .04. Big swing that time as Selman unable to get it down. Northern scramble. Selman will take another cut. That one's going to go long. Skylights leading 14-8. Reese Layton to serve. Layton. Good serve, and she's going to get the ace. Reese Layton will get the ace. Montana Tech's second ace here of the match. And Skylights lead is 5. Serves that one to right line. Big set to the middle and just not enough on it. Addison falls down, the freshman setter. Just didn't get enough air under that. And Lexi Jones hammers that one into the net. Montana Tech trims the lead to 4. 14-10 our score. The Skylights up over the Digs. Really feeling like that first set. Montana Tech was down by a chunk in that first set, down by 6. They were able to fight their way back and win the first set 25-23. And they are trying to do the same here in this second set. Skylights leading 14-10. I mentioned Montana Tech hitting in the negative right now, .04. On the other side, Northern hitting 188 as a team. Uffelman and Selman each have 5 kills for the Lights. Treadwell has 10 for the Orediggers. And Montana Tech will look to keep the momentum running here. So Reese Layton back to serve here for the Digs. Layton is given the go-ahead, and we are underway. Floats that one to the back line, falls in for another ace. Tech is within 3. Reese gets her second kill. Nice serve across, hits the tape. Skylights get some juice on it from the 10-foot line. Bumped up toward the net, in trouble. Green keeps it alive. To the outside, and that is a big swing and a big kill by Treadwell again. Treadwell gets her 11th kill of the match. Montana Tech within 2. The Digs with great momentum as of right now. So Layton will look to continue serve here. Set to the outside, and that one is going to sail long out of play. Tech within 1. Skylights leading 14-13. And Reese Layton will look to tie us up. Floats that one in. Popped up. Boy, getting a good chunk on that time. Macy Selman actually got a lot on that. She was probably 7-8 feet off the net and still was able to get a lot of zip and a lot of topspin to make sure it stayed in. Back to serve is Minden. So Minden with the jump serve. Layton to the outside. Bumped up toward the net. Off balance. Tech should get a good look here to the middle. A swing and a kill that time as Kennedy Ullman will get the kill. Montana Tech within 1. Austin Long is back to serve. Skylights lead by 1. And Austin Long, the sophomore, serve is away. Nice pass, set a little bit behind. That one knocked over. Northern tight to the net. Boy, they have really adjusted well at the net. Those balls that are kind of 50-50 balls up over the net, Northern has taken great advantage of. As Macy Selman that time with a kill. Skylights by 2. 16-14, hits the net, falls in. Bailey Egan will roll that one in for an ace. The second ace here of the match for the Skylights. And they stretch their lead out to 3. That one floated in. Montana Tech set to the middle. And a big kill in the middle brings the Digs within 2. Tech going to substitute here. Checking out is Kennedy Oman. And in is Sid Streitz. So Sydney Streitz back to serve. 2-point lead for the Skylights. And it looks like Montana Tech called the timeout. So Montana Tech calls a timeout. Skylights leading 17-15. Frontier Conference action here in the second set. As the Digs won the first, 25-23. We find ourselves here in the second. It felt like the Skylights were going to put on a good run and raw off at the second one. And Montana Tech has been able to reel them in again. Not sure. Coach Solomon talking to the officials here. Was there a substitution issue? He's still over talking to the book and that down official. So now coach will make his way back over to the huddle. Skylights leading 17-15. Frontier Conference Volleyball, these two teams tied in the conference standings as of right now. People getting ready for Top Gun Charlie. Coming up between the second and third set. We'll invite everyone to make their paper airplane. Did you get your paper airplane paper? Obviously not. Skylights by 2. So the down official still waiting to get things in order here, it looks like. Not sure what we have going on. It felt like there was an issue with the substitution because Streitz came in, Oman went out, and the two of them are standing. The official is talking to Coach Solomon about it, and I feel like that is the issue. The official explaining it to Coach Solomon. And it looks like he is going to go to the bench for someone else here. So Oman will go out. Coming in will be Kennedy Moore. And also going out is Sid Streitz, it would appear. Because Sid Streitz was in to serve. Yeah, I really don't know. There was a substitution issue of some sort. What it was, I honestly do not know. Emmy Green back to serve. Coach Solomon chatting with the official again. Skylights lead by 2. And it looks like we are ready to roll. So Emmy Green with the service. Skylights lead by 2. Hammers that one across. Good pass. Nice dig. Off the block, and that will be point Skylights. I really feel like both teams have passed the ball well. You know, from the initial receipt of serve, that first pass to the set. I feel like for the most part, both teams really have done a nice job with that here so far to this point. Skylights lead by 3. And back to serve is Macy Selman. So it looks like there's still some issue here as far as rotation, as far as personnel. As you can see, Coach Solomon talking to the official here. Does not look like Coach Solomon is thrilled with the discussion to this point. Skylights by 3. And now it looks like we are about ready to roll. Skylights leading 18-15. Official still talking to Coach Solomon. Now the upper official talking in this as well. Boy, I apologize. It looks like we've got substitution happening here again. So substitution for the Digs. I'm inquiring to the table what exactly is happening down there. We'll see if we can get an answer. Skylights leading by 3. It feels like a rotation issue. So Skylights leading 18-15. And it looks like we are ready to roll again. Okay. We'll see if we're situated here. Oh, they're still talking to the table. And now we're ready to roll. Skylights up 19-15. Service across. Tipped up over. Northern will get a free one. Big swing on the outside that time by Stock. Again, another example of those kind of 50-50 balls that go right up over the top of the net. Northern hasn't hesitated. You know, they've just gone right after them. And I feel like they have scored on the vast majority of those here tonight. Deep serve, handled well by Long. Short set. Clark hits it. Northern digs it out. Off the block. Northern keeps it alive. They'll switch sides. Montana Tech should get a good look here. Kennedy Wilmore falls in for the points. That was one of those where she was kind of taking advantage of how hard she hits it. As she went up, the entire back line dropped back. And she takes a whole lot off it, and there's just no one there on the inside to pick it up. Short set. Nice hit. Tech, Austin Long tracking it down, and that one will go over by Green. Nice set into the block. Montana Tech points. Kennedy Wilmore and also Abby Clark out on the outside for the block. 3-point advantage here for the Skylights. See if the Digs able to claw their way in this one. Malia Harris handled low to the middle. Harris knocks it up. Big swing Wilmore. Good block by the Skylights. Dug out by Long. Tech. Mismanagement there. Miscommunication. And that one will fall down for a point, Skylights. Two players looking at one another. Both almost backed off, then both kind of went after it. Skylights leading 21-17. Green gets under it, but the Skylights going to get a free one. To the outside, swing. Nice job by Harris. Green with a bump set. Wilmore unable to get it down. Big swing off the tape and in for Uffelman. Skylights up 22-17 as Uffelman will get the kill. Uffelman has 5 kills here in the match. Northern hitting 167 this set. Service across, long with the bump. Kennedy Wilmore, ladies and gentlemen. So Wilmore hammers it. Skylights lead by 4. Back to serve is Brooklyn Hayes. Hayes hammers that one in. Good set going towards the ball. That's a really nice play on the far side of the floor. The bump set up over the back that time as she was going towards the scorer's table. And able to keep that alive, and not only alive, but a point for the Skylights. Service away. Hayes. Nice kill here on the near side. Has taken a swing as Clark, and she will get the kill. Clark with 4 kills in the match so far for Montana Tech. They trail by 4. Tech back to serve Reinertsen. Ellie Reinertsen. A 4-point advantage here for the Skylights. Reinertsen across. Good pass. Nice set. Free one. Up over the top. Now the Digs get it. Treadwell with the swing. Northern scrambles. And honestly, the first kind of bit of miscommunication on their side. Not sure who was going to go after that. And at the last minute, diving for it that time was Hassler. So that will fall in for a point, Montana Tech. Big swing in the middle. Handled well by the Digs. Too close to the net. Tipped across. Skylights with it. And that one will fall in for a kill as Macy Uffelman able to get it in. Skylights looking at set points. 24-20 our score. Skylights trying to even this up at 1 set apiece. Service is away. Outside Treadwell, big cut, and that will be point Montana Tech as Northern got into the net. So Reese Layton serving for life here in this second set. Skylights leading 24-21. Serve across. Nice set. Great block by the Digs. Skylights keep it alive. Bump it across. Tech with a free look. Back set. Nice swing here on the outside as Selman will hammer it home. Montana Tech trailing 24-22. So Selman with the kill. Layton scrambling a little bit here. They're just going to get it across. Montana Tech should get a good look. To the outside. Big hit. Nice kill by Treadwell. Tech within 1. 24-23. And Northern will call a timeout. Skylights leading 24-23. Montana Tech's hitting percentage has gone up drastically. They're up to 205 as a team, led by Treadwell with 13 kills. Treadwell hitting 229 as an individual. From there, you have Kennedy Wilmore with 6 kills, Abby Clark with 4. On the other side, for the Skylights, they're hitting 211 as a team this set. They're led by Selman with 8 kills, Uffelman with 7, and Stock has 4 for the Skylights. Tech trailing by 1. Montana Tech with service. Reese Layton looking to tie us up at 24 and possibly take a next step. Skylights up 24-23. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco and my crew here for our second game of the day. As the football team, huge win earlier against Dakota State. Actually ended up being a decent day. The wind started to blow. It got a little cold in the second half. But for the forecast that we had all week, ended up being a far nicer day than we possibly were expecting. Reese Layton back to serve. Trailing by 1. Skylights up 24-23. That one's handled well. Short set to the middle. It's going to fall, and set goes to Northern. We're tied at 1 apiece. Northern wins this one 25-23. Montana Tech won the first 25-23. And we will go to the third set, ladies and gentlemen, at Orediggers Volleyball here on Digger Vision. We're back in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Stanger, and my specialty is adult hip and knee reconstructive surgery. I chose this specialty because it helps patients achieve their maximum functioning potential here in Butte, Montana. I like to ask the patient how their problem is impacting them, what their desires are, so that they can return back to their levels of activity. I can help patients achieve their maximum functioning potentials and, in turn, help them with their pain.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Hey, we're back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as we just had our Top Gun Charlie throwing paper airplanes to win a Yeti mug and a gift card for a little din-din. And a young lady wearing a Bulldog volleyball shirt in the colors of Butte High School Bulldogs was able to get her paper airplane closest to the target. So she has won herself a Yeti mug and a little dinner. And then on the way up, she lost her flip-flop. So we're getting ready for the third set. Northern hit 231 in that second. Montana Tech 205. Let's look at the errors. Montana Tech with 6 errors. Northern with 5. And Northern with an additional 3 blocks in that second set. Montana Tech had 1. Amy Green will check in at libero, and it was what we kind of expected. It was a substitution infraction called against Montana Tech. That was the issue in that second point, and kind of our long pause, if you will. So the Skylights serve is away. Third set is running. Set to the middle. Clark keeps it alive, trying to get it the other way, and that will be point Northern. Right into that middle block that time as Abby Clark hammered it into Lexi Jones. Skylights leading 1-0 here in the third. Nice set to the outside. That one's going to go long. Peyton Treadwell, good contact, just sailed on her a little bit. Skylights up 2-0 here to get the third underway. Skylights. Back set. And that one will get in for Sophie Madsen. Madsen, nice job that time, fighting for it to get in. And the digs will put Reese Layton back to serve. So Reese Layton right now, 2 aces, 29 assists here in the match. Big swing off the block, in for the point. Nice cut by Selman. Let's look at Selman's numbers here as of right now. 8 kills for Selman on 21 total attacks. Really has done everything for the Skylights. She has 8 kills, 21 swings, 12 assists, and 8 digs as of right now. Line drive shot handled nicely. Clark, no. Skylights get under it. Actually a good set off the bump, and Montana Tech will get there. Clark up in the block. She might have got a piece of it. It might have came into the net as well. But either way, Montana Tech will get the side out. And Long will look to serve. Austin Long, one of that great group of freshmen a year ago that really were kind of pressed into service. And they did an outstanding job. That one's going to go long for her. Skylights leading 4-2. Bailey Egan back to serve. Egan out of Colstrip. Egan floats that one in. Dies as it comes into the offensive zone. Big swing and a big kill by Cody Ann Lynn. You know, in every sport, there's a big difference when it comes to, defending a left-hander or a right-hander, whether it's pitching, whether it's quarterback, whatever it is, that, balls travel differently. And it looks that way when, you don't see many southpaws swinging up front. And when Lynn swings, it just feels different. Honestly, it feels kind of odd. And I'm a southpaw. 4-4 our score. Emmy Green to serve. Green, it's that one in. That's the deal at the net. Kennedy Wilmore able to get up and put it down. That honestly is kind of the aggression that we had seen out of Northern the first 2 sets in that area. Green to serve again. Green floats that one deep. Good pass. Set a little too far back from the net. Montana Tech the other way. Wilmore off the block. Point Montana Tech. Kennedy Wilmore, kill number 7. And the Digs lead 6-4. Green will continue service. Emmy Green back to serve. Floats that one across the net. Good set up over the block. Montana Tech keeps it alive. Wilmore to the back line. Northern, great set. Green keeps it alive, has to get it across and does. Great scramble that time by Emmy Green to the outside, swing into the block. Tech will get another look at it, near side. Great point here. Swing and a kill from the far side. That's Selman. Actually, it's not Selman that time. It was Hasler, my apologies. So the Digs lead by 1. Strong point by both teams. This one floats in. Long handles it. Layton back set. Good block put on. Northern. Long set. Montana Tech gets the block in place again. They'll back out of it this time. Short set. Kept alive right on the net. Montana Tech battling. Northern will throw it to the back line. Long, nope. That's good vision. Saw that Montana Tech really kind of had all 6 up toward the net. And she throws it to the back line. Montana Tech unable to cover fully. 6-6 our score. And Skylights serving for the lead here. Beery going to the table. And that one will be a point Skylights. Skylights leading 7-6. Frontier Conference Volleyball here on a Saturday. Wilmore with the dig to the outside. Nice kill by Lynn. Lynn with 6 kills on 10 swings. Pair of digs as well. And she will check out here for a moment. She's going to talk to coach here as she goes to the bench. Cody Ann Lynn, a junior from Vaughn. Miss hit, scrambled, Kept alive, Northern. Montana Tech now with a look. Wilmore. Nobody able to get much on it yet, not until right there. There was a lot on that one. Lexa Stock, the junior, the outside from Canada. She will get the kill in the point. Skylights leading 8-7. To serve, Josie Hasler. Hasler. That one comes in. Kennedy Wilmore, big block. Knocked up. And across. So Northern should get a good look here. Back set. Nice cut, but it goes out of play. Alexa Stock with the swing. Just could not keep it in. Skylights by 1. Frontier Conference action here. Oh. They're going to call a touch, it looks like. So Skylights get the point. They'll retain service here. So it looks like that is the case. It looks like they do say there was a touch. Montana Tech, near side, Wilmore gets it across. Skylights, good placement here on the near side as Stock able to find the floor. Skylights by 3. 10-7 our score. And the Digs trailing by 3. To serve is Hasler. Hasler gets it in, too tight to the net. Nice job by Layton that time to get it across. They bump to the back line. Montana Tech, a good look. Beery through the block and gets the kill. Beery, kill number 2 on the day. Skylights lead by 2. And back to serve is Brooklyn Hayes. Hayes gets it across, Northern. Green pops it up. Montana Tech just forced to get her over. Northern, nice set, nice finish. Nice job by the Skylights as they will get the kill. And they will extend their lead to 3. 11-8, Skylights up over the Digs. Back to serve is Stock. Stock floats it in. Near side. Big cut, Treadwell. Well defended. Back to Treadwell. Skylights. Nice set again, and that one's going to find home as Uffelman will get the kill. So Uffelman with the kill. Skylights go up by 4. Service into the offense. Nice set. Beery tries to find a home. Nothing there. And it will come across the net and out of play. Point Montana Tech. 12-9. Skylights lead by 3. Skylights hitting .294 here in this third set. Strites back to serve. So Sid Strites will look to add some points here for the Digs. Strites hammers that one in. Skylights scrambling, and they will get it across. Good hustle by the Lights. Short set. Clark hammers it home. Abby Clark with the kill. Montana Tech within 2. Abby Clark here on the day. 4 kills on 10 attacks. And Sydney Strites back to serve. 2-point advantage for the Skylights. Sid puts that one in place. Skylights trying to find it there. Not that. Boy, that's a big swing again by Treadwell. Treadwell really dishing out some power here. So Treadwell will get the kill again. 13 kills for Treadwell on the night. She leads everybody in that department. Skylights lead is 1. Again, Montana Tech playing right now without Piper Jetty and also Talon Dodson. 2 of their outsides. They didn't play yesterday or today. And a nice kill that time from the outside by Uffelman. Uffelman picks up her 10th kill, so she's the first Skylight in double digits. As she has 10 kills here on the day, Skylights by 2. That one floats to the back line. Harris handles it. Treadwell, not much on it. Skylights still scramble though, and Tech will get into the net. Skylights leading 14-11. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. Again, Montana Tech volleyball, 3 matches this next week. They're in Dillon on Wednesday, and then at home on Friday and Saturday. Big swing, Treadwell, and just won't go in. 4-point lead for the Skylights. Back to serve. Falls down. Short set. Clark into the block. Lexi Jones was set. Jones has 5 solo blocks so far in this match, and the Skylights lead by 5. 16-11. Northern up over the Digs as we make our way through a Saturday evening. We're back here right after this.
In 2023, East Middle School became the very first school in Montana to earn the prestigious National Banner Unified Champion School designation, and was even named to the ESPN Honor Roll for its commitment to inclusion. With growing unified sports programs in basketball and track, East Middle School fosters friendship, leadership, and teamwork for all students. Just this spring, West Elementary School made history as the first elementary school in Montana to achieve this same honor. West Elementary unveiled its banner in May of 2025, showing the state what a welcoming, inclusive school community truly looks like. Unified Champion Schools are recognized nationwide by Special Olympics for meeting the highest standards of social inclusion, youth leadership, and whole school engagement. These schools prove that sports and school are better when everyone belongs.
1, 2, 3.
Back here once again to Valley Bank Arena. Nice set. And that one is going to find the floor. Point Montana Tech. Treadwell with kill number 14. Skylights by 4. Reese Layton to serve. Reese Layton, one of the junior leaders of this volleyball program. Serve comes in. Nice pass and set. Into the block. Montana Tech sets it nicely. Northern gets another look. They'll move to the other side. Again, the block is set. Northern bump set back the other way. And that one is going to find the floor. Layton tipped it in the air. Trying to get to it was Lynn. Just unable to do so. So the Skylights lead is 5. 17-12. Frontier Conference volleyball here on a Saturday. These two teams tied in conference play right now. Both at 6 and 4. Far set. Treadwell gets it across. Handled well by Northern. Swing into the block. Point Northern. Hassler takes a cut. And the Skylights stretch their lead out to 6. Right now, boy, Northern hitting .350 this set. You have 9 kills on 20 attacks. And let me check here. I believe that's their first service error in this contest as well. Austin Long will check in. Also, Kennedy Wilmore will come in as Brooklyn Hayes goes out along with Peyton Treadwell. Skylights by 5. Jump serve to the back line. Boy, that had some zip on it from the 10-foot line. Nice swing that time by Falls down. Montana Tech responds. Tight to the net. Montana Tech gets up first, but Northern, yeah, it's going to be called a double. So the Digs, it's interesting. Like we had talked about in the first 2 sets, Northern was the first up on those kind of 50-50 balls, if you will, directly over the net. Now here in this 3rd set, it feels like Montana Tech is starting to get up and win those battles. And that's going to be an ace for Long. Austin Long will get the ace, her 2nd of the match. The Orediggers' 4th of the match. Skylights by 3. 18-15. Austin Long, serve away. Dugout, again tight on the net. And Northern gets up over the top of the net. Tech on a little run here. And it looks like the Skylights going to call a timeout. Skylights leading 18-16. They are still just lights out hitting the ball. They're at 308 as a team. On the other side, Montana Tech hitting 200 here in this third set. They have 10 kills on 30 attacks. The Digs led by Treadwell with 15 total kills here in the match. Kennedy Wilmore has 8. Lynn has 6. On the other side for the Skylights, 2 players in double digits. Uffelman has 11. Selman with 10 for the Skylights. 2-point advantage here for MSU Northern. Again, Frontier Conference standings. Providence is on top at 11-0. Bellevue is next at 9-2. Then you have Dakota State and Carroll at 7-4. Montana Tech and Northern are both 6-4. So whoever wins this will jump up into a tie with Dakota State and Carroll College. And whoever falls here will drop into a tie with Montana Western. So Long back to serve. I just looked at the clock and realized it's only 6:30. It feels like it's about quarter to midnight. Austin Long, serve off the tape. Northern has it. Set all the way across. Great defense by the Digs, but a little too good. They got into the net. Clark got into the net. And the Skylights lead by 3. Bailey Egan to serve. Egan, service is away. Abby Green, Kennedy Wilmore leans into it. Great defense. Out of the way, left side, off the block, point Montana Tech, as Cody Ann Lynn will get another kill. That is her 7th here of the contest, and the lead is 2. Skylights leading 19-17. And Emmy Green back to serve. Tipped up the net. Northern adjusts, big swing. That's going to go long, no touch. And that will be point Montana Tech as Josie Hasler took a cut. And that one just didn't fall into play. Skylights leading 19-18. And Emmy Green gets that one in. Tipped up over the block, Montana Tech. A good look here to the outside. Nice angle on that time as Cody Ann Lynn drops it in for a kill. Kill number 8 on the day for her. And we're tied at 19. Emmy Green to serve again. The senior hammers that one in. Popped up straights from the 10-foot line. Montana Tech will get it across. Northern now with what should be a good opportunity. Short set to the middle. Green with the nice dig. Tech to the back line. Point Montana Tech. Kennedy Wilmore gets the kill. Digs go up 20-19. Boy, Montana Tech hasn't led in any of these sets until nearly the end. And Northern will call a timeout. Montana Tech with some great momentum with Emmy Green back to serve. You know, earlier I talked about Reese Layton and her leadership. I'll tell you, the other one is Emmy. Emmy, the senior out of Boise, has just had a really good year this year. I think the one thing really about her that I really appreciate on the floor, and she might argue with me, but she just seems unflappable. You know, she always seems pretty calm. She always plays within herself. She doesn't get phased, doesn't let emotion really move her much. She really is having a great year here for Montana Tech. And you're seeing the leadership side of it more. You know, you can see her vocally a little bit more. So Montana Tech by 1, 20-19. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday. Montana Tech hitting .219 here in the third. On the other side, Northern still hitting .333. Yellow. So Green back to serve. Emmy Green has 9 digs. I thought she had aces here. She does not yet in this match. To the center. Middle able to get it across. Montana Tech to the outside. Wilmore throws it to the back line. Far side, big hit. Handled nicely by Tech, but they're going to scramble to the net. And that one off the block and in for the Lights. As Cadence Wiggins will step up. And Wiggins will get the kill. Wiggins, her second kill here of the match. And back to serve is Selman. Selman up tight on the net, and it's hammered down. So Wiggins will get another kill. And just like that, the Skylights grab the lead back. And Montana Tech will call a timeout. Coach Solomon going to chat things over here for a moment. All that momentum that the Orediggers had in their back pocket has now evaporated. And Northern has fought their way back to a 1-point advantage. 21-20 our score. Skylights up over the Digs. Again, a quick reminder, 3 games this week for the Orediggers. As coming up on Wednesday, Montana Tech will be at Montana Western. And they'll be on the road for a Frontier Conference matchup. Then on Friday of next week, they'll be at home. They'll be hosting Valley City, 7 o'clock on this floor Friday night. Then on Saturday afternoon, they'll host Mayville for a 2 p.m. match. So Montana Tech, 3 matches this week. At Western on Wednesday, Valley at home on Friday, and Mayville at home on Saturday. Skylights by 1. Back to serve, Macy Selman, the senior. Northern team, 5 seniors it looks like on the roster. That one floats in, back set. Northern digs it out. This one tight to the net on the Montana Tech side. Northern keeps it alive. Up over the top, and it is touched up front. Touched up front by Lynn. And the Skylights push their lead to 2. 22-20, Skylights up over the Digs. Service away to the middle, and Beery gets heat on it, but it doesn't fall in play. Skylights up 23-20. Frontier Conference Volleyball. As with service, Macy Selman. Selman gets it across. Montana Tech to the outside. Wilmore takes a big cut. Blocked. The other way will go. Northern fighting, keeping it alive. Try and answer. That one hit off the rafters hard and came flying right back. Skylights have set point. 24-20. It was hit cleanly, just had a lot of juice on it, jumped straight in the air, hit the rafters, and came rocketing right back. Service in. Back set. Nice cut. That one off of the block, and Lynn will get another kill. Lynn has 9 kills here today. Really having an outstanding match. She's hitting .412. Feed that young lady the ball. Back to serve, Ellie Reinertsen. She'll step in at setter. Her serve in. Short set to the middle, and that will be point and set for the Lights of MSU Northern. Skylights win the third, 25-21. Frontier Conference Volleyball here on Digger Vision. We're back to Valley Bank Arena after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Stanger, and my specialty is adult hip and knee reconstructive surgery. I chose this specialty because it helps patients achieve their maximum functioning potential here in Butte, Montana. I like to ask the patient how their problem is impacting them, what their desires are, so that they can return back to their levels of activity. I can help patients achieve their maximum functioning potentials and, in turn, help them with their pain.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
As we go to the fourth set, Skylights leading 2-1 over the Orediggers. Montana Tech won the first set. Skylights have turned the coin and won the second and third. And we'll see what happens here in the fourth. On the match overall, Northern is hitting 234 as a team. They have 11 total blocks. They had 6 in the first set, 3 in the second, 2 in the third. And they have really done a nice job up front. Talked about it early as an important part of what they do, and it has paid dividends for them here tonight. They're led by Uffelman with 11 kills. Selman has 10. On the other side for Montana Tech, they're hitting 210 as a team. They hit 238 that last set. They're led by Treadwell with 15 kills. Lynn has 10. Kennedy Wilmore with 9 kills. And the Digs have 4 aces along with 4 service errors and 3 total blocks here in the match. So we go to the fourth set. Reese Layton with the serve from 8 feet out. Boy, big shot that time by Selman. Good elevation again, just inside that 10-foot mark, and she is able to pound it in for the point. So Selman gets the kill. And the Skylights will get the serve back. Side out. And Lights. Service going to go long. As that one floats out. 1-1 our score here in the fourth. Austin Long now back to serve here for the Digs. Long, ready to roll. Serve is away. Knocked up in the air. Big bump set, and that one just pitched across. Montana Tech, a good look. Back set. Hit hard, but hit long. Montana Tech's Cody Ann Lynn unable to guide that one in. Skylights leading 2-1. Bailey Egan back to serve. Egan gets that one in. Montana Tech to the outside. Kennedy Wilmore hammers it. Great elevation, big swing by Wilmore. We're tied at 2. Abby Clark comes in. Going out is Kennedy Oman. And to serve is Green. Puts it down. Set to the outside. That one hits the pin. Diggs leading 3-2 here in the fourth. So Green serving again. Handled well. Elevation. And a kill down the nets as Hasler gets it to go. Hasler with 7 kills here on the evening. As we're tied up 3-all here in the fourth. Back to serve is Selman. Selman floats that one in. Reese Layton, a little bit back from the nets. Northern will get a look. Push to the back line. That's going to go in. It lands on the edge of the line. So the ball hits the line, and Skylights will get the point. They lead 4-3. And Selman with the service again. Selman set to the out. Kennedy Wilmore gets it blocked. Northern bump set. Swing. Great dig in the back line. Montana Tech will get a look. Wilmore the other way. No. Northern sets here near. And Montana Tech controlling. That one behind her a little bit as Lynn tried to go up, but they're going to get the point. Is that one thrown deep? 4-4 our score. Montana Tech with the serve here. Malia Harris. So Malia Harris, serve. That one will come across. Short set to the middle, well defended. Skylights will go to the edge this time. Wilmore tips it, and they'll get it across. Good defense again by the Diggs, knocked in the air. Ballet move to get it over. Tremendous effort by the Diggs to keep it alive. Northern will try to end it, and they do. Great effort that time by both teams. Alexa Stock will get the kill. The Skylights lead by 1. 5-4. Skylights up over the top of the Diggs. And to serve is Hasler. And she's going to get the ace. Hasler will get that one in for the points. Skylights leading 6-4. Fourth set. Lights leading 2-1. Service is away. They'll set to Wilmore. Takes a cut. That one won't fall. Big swing the other way, and Uffelman will get the kill as Uffelman gets her 12th kill here of the match. And the Skylights leading 7-4. Hasler looking to serve. Northern has 4 aces so far here in this match. Layton, great set. Big hit. Handled nicely by the Skylights. Nice angle that time on the far side of the floor. Stock comes all the way across the net and able to put that in for a point. Skylights leading 8-4. Frontier Conference Volleyball here on a Saturday. Green to the net, trying to slam that one home. Doesn't go for Layton. Big swing by Northern. Green keeps it alive again. Bump set to the net, too far, and the Lights will get the point. Back into the scramble here, and it feels like the Skylights kind of back to that form that saw them in the first set. So substitutions here. Layton will check out. Ellie Reinertson will come in. Also coming in is Sophie Madsen. And Skylights with the serve. Floats that one in. Set far side. Big hit by Kennedy Wilmore, and she'll pound it home. No, that one goes long. My apologies. Boy, from here, that looked like it was in. Skylights leading 10-4. Northern service. Nice cut from the middle. Skylights scramble to keep it alive. They'll get it across. Montana Tech with a good look. Outside, Wilmore. That will be touched. So point Montana Tech. Kennedy Wilmore hits a rocket. Skylights leading 10-5. And back to serve is Brooklyn Hayes. So Hayes It's that one into the zone, set across courts. And point Montana Tech as Uffelman unable to pull that in. Uffelman hitting .391 in the match here for Northern. They're hitting .258 as a team. Nice serve deep. Back set, off the block. And cut, and that one hits the line. Great swing that time from the far side, Peyton Treadwell. Peyton Treadwell takes the cut. It bounces off the tape, finds the stripe, and the Digs get the side out, trailing by 3. That one gets floated in. High set. Montana Tech handles it easily. Cut from the near side as a kill for Sophie Madsen. Her second kill of the match. Madsen will bring the Digs within 2, and Northern will call a timeout. Frontier Conference Volleyball here on a Saturday. Again, a quick rundown as far as next week goes. The volleyball team on the road at Western, as they'll be at Western on Wednesday down to Stroud Gymnasium. Hopefully we'll see you down there. And then Friday and Saturday of next week, they'll be at home. Friday, they'll be taking on Valley City at 7 o'clock here on this floor at Valley Bank Arena. Then on Saturday at 2 o'clock, they'll be hosting Mayville State. So 3 matches this coming week. Obviously a big, important stretch here for the Digs. As at Western on Wednesday, then home for a pair. And we'll see, obviously, tonight, very important for these programs as well. These two teams tied in Frontier Conference standings. They are currently tied for 4th place. The winner will jump up and be tied with Dakota State and Carroll for 3rd. Whoever falls here will be tied with Western. Hayes with the serve. Northern cross-court set. Poke checked all the way to the back corner, point Northern. Skylights up by 3. So to serve here is Emily Bird. Bird, the sophomore out of Townsend. Service is away. Bump set. Just getting it across. Northern should get a look in the middle. They set to the middle, and Big Legsy Jones takes a cut. Jones at 6'1" puts that one down. That is her 4th kill here of the match. And the Skylights lead by 4. Service to Hayes. Set to the outside. Treadwell into the block. Point Northern. Good block on the far side that time. Jones and Stock both get bodies in. Skylights leading 13-8. MSU Northern is just dominating at the nets right now. They have 12 total blocks in this match. Center, Clark hits it hard. Northern able to dig it out. Misjudged that jump a little bit. Madsen into the net. Skylights lead 14-8. Frontier Conference Volleyball here, and Montana Tech going to call a timeout. So the Digs will call a timeout as the Skylights leading 14-8. Frontier Conference action here as we make our way through a Saturday. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Some great things coming up. The next home football game will actually be Hall of Fame. I mean, that's already where we're at. The Digs will go on the road to Northern. They have a couple games on the road. You've got Dickinson. We've got a bye week coming up here shortly as well. But our next home game will be the Hall of Fame game. And we'll get you details on that. If you're interested in the Hall of Fame banquet, you can find the tickets at godiggers.com. Just go to our ticketing site, and you can pick up your tickets and join us at the Hall of Fame banquet at the Butte Country Club coming up on the 24th. I better check my calendar. For some reason, my tiny brain thinks I'm wrong with the 24th. Nope, the 24th. How about them apples? So the Skylights handling service again. As Emily Bird back, they lead by 6. Bird. We get the go-ahead from our head official. Service away. Set to the middle. Clark hits it across. Northern, boy, great set across, just not in place. To the middle. Clark, big cut, saved by Northern. They'll keep it alive, and they'll get it across. Tremendous hustle out of the Skylights. And that one right to the center and knocked down. As getting up and getting across, Reese Layton will get it down. Point Montana Tech, Skylights by 5. 14-9. And back to serve again is Sydney Strites. So Sid will look to get some points here. Strites with the serve. That one will go into the net. The 5th service error of the evening for Montana Tech as a team. And the Skylights lead by 6. Serving, Addison falls down. Montana Tech trying to reel him in here a little bit. Layton to the outside, nice swing. Great defense, Skylights to the middle. Is it in? It is. Tremendous placement that time. As getting the kill is Jones once again. The Skylights go up 16-9. Jones having a really nice match in the middle. 5 kills, but it feels like that's the part you're not too worried about here tonight. The defensive side has been outstanding. Tech is going to get into the net. So the Skylights go up 17-9. And service. Set. Big hit, Treadwell. Peyton Treadwell, kill number 17 here in the match for her. She leads everybody in that department, and Layton is back to serve. Reese Layton. It's that one across. This one tight to the net, and the Northern will get across with a double. Layton continuing to serve here for the Digs. And that one skips across the tape, mishandled. Skylights able to get it through, and boy, went through with some violence, honestly. Bump set, Treadwell over the block, kept alive to the middle. Hit. Montana Tech will keep it alive. Treadwell with the swing off the block. Point Montana Tech. Both teams really reacting quickly. Tech down by 5. With service, Reese Layton. Layton. Set. And that one will find its... That's a really well-struck ball from the far side into heavy traffic. Somehow able to get that up and get it down. The Lights are hitting .333 in this 4th set. They're hitting .263 for the match. They lead by 6 here in the 4th. Hayes, Layton, and that one almost falls through. Skylights, short set to the middle again, and it will fall in this time as Lexi Jones with a kill. Jones has 6 kills. She also has, what are we looking at here? 5 solo blocks and 4 assisted blocks. Monster night for the middle. Hayes off the serve, and that will be an ace here for the Skylights. They lead 20-12 in the 4th. Trying to put this one away, and Montana Tech going to call a timeout. So the Orediggers trail by 8 here in the 4th set. As the Skylights, really just tremendous energy. Like I say, they're just scrappy. They're obviously much better words than that, but they're not with me currently. But this Northern team playing really aggressive, really getting after it. Montana Tech, has answered and played really well as well. But Northern has just been able to go on these little runs to get out in front, 5-6 point runs. And when they get out in front, they have been able to hold off the Digs, even though they try and turn the corner and claw back into it. Minden is back to serve here for the Lights. So Minden, service is away. Set to the outside, and that will be a kill as Lynn will get it in. Skylights leading 20-13. Montana Tech will get the side outs. And Austin Long will try and reverse trend here a little bit. So Long, service is away. Set to the outside, behind the net a little bit. Unable to get much on it. Montana Tech will try. Nope. Well defended by the Skylights. They'll go again here to the near side. Tipped into the block, kept alive. Skylights run into one another, but they're able to get it across. Emmy Green to Layton, outside, killed. Kennedy Wilmore put some zip on it, and the Digs within 6. Skylights leading 20-14. Wilmore with 11 kills here in the match. Pass. This one, Northern just going to get across. Montana Tech will get a good look here to the outside. Big swing, handled nicely by Northern as Lynn had the attempt. Montana Tech again to the middle. Thrown toward the out-of-bounds line. Outside, big block that time. Wilmore on the edge with Oman. Diggs trail by 5. 20-15, Skylights with the lead over Montana Tech. The Diggs with some momentum. Long off the tape. They're able to get under it and into the block. Montana Tech with some great aggression right now. Montana Tech firing as they are rolling here, trying to reel in this Skylights team. The lead is 4. They've cut the lead in half with still more work to do. Long. Good pass, nice short set. Green keeps it alive, bumped up near side. Both teams trying to get a good look here. Into the block again. Kennedy Wilmore, and also it looked like Oman up front. Tech within 3. 5-point run here for the Digs. And much like they have done each set here, Northern has jumped out early, and then Montana Tech has reeled them in. We'll just see if the Digs are able to continue to get them to the boat, if you will, as the Skylights lead 20-17. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday night. As the teams chatting it over. Again, both these teams 6-4 in Frontier Conference play. We are true home and away now on the volleyball side of things. So you'll play everybody on your floor, everybody on their floor. And then from there, the Frontier Conference tournaments is in Helena. Helena PE Center is the home of the tournament this year. I could be wrong, but I want to say the next 2 years. I think the bids for the tournament sites were for 2 years. So I think the volleyball tournament is in Helena for 2 years. And Austin Long looking to keep this momentum going. Montana Tech has erased 5 points off the lead. They'll try and add more to it here. As Long services away. Short set to the middle, hammered home. Lexi Jones gets another one. Jones with 7 kills here in the match. And the Skylights lead by 4. 21-17. Bailey Egan serves away. Goes cross court. Green handles it. Short set, tipped up over the top. Skylights to the middle again. Knocked up, and that one will fall. Point Northern. 22-17 the lead. Egan looking to serve here for the Skylights. Egan goes cross court again. Green to the edge. Big hit blocked. Tech bump set to the back line, and it will go long. Good swing by Cody Ann Lynn. That was a good point. Had some significant heat on the shots here. Skylights up 23-17. And service is away. Set to the outside over the top. Fighting at the net. Knocked in the air. Green with the bump set. Kennedy Wilmore rolls off the tape and rolls out of play. That's a heads-up play by Cody Ann Lynn. She was on the right side that time, and as that ball rolled across the tape, she had the presence of mind to let it go. I'm not sure I have the intestinal fortitude to do such. Serve is deep by Green, short set to the middle, and that one is pulled left as Cadence Wiggins, a senior, just unable to keep that in play. Skylights by 4. Emmy Green. It's it across. Bump set. Easily handled. Montana Tech back to left side. Good ball movement by the Lights. Neither team. That one's tipped up over the top. Scramble at the net. Montana Tech comes out with it. Green calls everyone off. Skylights near side. Big hit. Knocked in the air. Austin Long. Green scrambles. Moves it across. Good hustle by Green for Montana Tech. Outside into the block. Point Montana Tech. Kennedy Wilmore and Abby Clark on the outside. Boy, Wilmore, let me check here. What do they give her credit for? She has 1 solo block and 3 assisted. As she has really held down ground on that side of the net. Tech within 3. Set to the outside. Off the block. Long gets a hand on it. That's going to fall in for a point. Skylights leading 24-20. And they are looking at match point. So Skylights looking at match point here. They lead 24-20. And service is away. To the outside, Wilmore. It's blocked, kept alive. Montana Tech fighting. That one just bumped across. Skylights to the middle. Tipped over the block, kept alive, up to the nets. It's going to fall. Point, Skylights. And the Skylights will get the win. So MSU Northern will get the win here in Butte, Montana. They'll take down the Digs 25-20 and 2-1 overall here on the evening. Montana Tech will fall to 10-7 overall, 6-5 in conference play. And the Skylights will go to 9-8 overall and 7-4 in Frontier Conference play. Taking a look at the final numbers here, Montana Tech hit 186 as a team. They were led by Treadwell with 18 kills. Wilmore had 13, Lynn with 12. On the assist side of things, let's see here. It looks like Reese Layton, 49 assists in this matchup. From there, you have Green and Long, each with 15 digs here in this ball game. But the Lights will get a huge win here in Butte, Montana. The Digs will get 4 aces on the night, and looks like they end up with 7 total blocks here in the match. On the other side for the Skylights, they hit 236 in the match as they get a big win here today. They were led in that kill column by Uffelman with 15. Selman had 11. Stock and Hasler each with 10. From there, it looks like Selman had 27 assists. Falls Down had 21. And they were led in the dig department by Egan, who finished with 17 total digs here in this match. So the Skylights will get the win 2-1 over the Orediggers of Montana Tech. Thanks for joining us here for Oredigger Volleyball on a Saturday. Have yourself a great night and a great remainder of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.